This is the Toto Washlet C5 electric bidet, and it's pretty much the Ferrari of toilet seats. It can do things like wash, dry, and stave off the dreaded cold seat shock. In the box, we've got pretty much everything we'll need to install, minus a screwdriver for the seat and a drill for the remote. Start by removing the old seat. It will likely just be attached with 2 large screws. After removal, admire Dirt's ability to hide everywhere. Install of the bidet starts by screwing down the bracket. It does have some slots that will allow front to back adjustment, but I just started in the middle. The new seat then snaps into place. As we can see, it's a bit far forward, so I'm going to move the bracket back about ½ an inch. To release for repositioning or cleaning, there is a button on the side. After reinstalling, I was disappointed to see significant side-to-side movement. The manufacturer does mention this can happen if the bracket is not tightened down sufficiently. However, I tightened it to the point I was worried I might break the toilet, yet the movement remains. That said, it doesn't affect performance, so not a huge deal. Next up is plumbing. Turn off the water at the valve and flush to empty. Remove the supply line, which should be just hand tight, and install the included T-shaped fitting. You may now reattach the supply line to the valve to the bottom and attach the supply line to the bidet to the side. Again, all hand tight. Resist the urge to use pliers, which might strip the plastic threads. Finally, go ahead and plug in. You will then be greeted to a little startup sequence. The remote install is an optional step. No reason you couldn't just set it on the counter. If you do want it wall mounted, we've got a bracket and a little mounting placard that I would highly suggest using, as the symbols on the remote itself are not all that intuitive. Otherwise, it just snaps into place via a magnetic catch. Alright, and this is the remote. Essentially, the front are the operation buttons, the things you use every day, and the back are the settings buttons. Basically, once you get things dialed in, you don't need to use the back of the remote theoretically until you're not happy with the settings anymore. I will go ahead and do a separate little section on how to use the front and all the things this can do. The back, basically you can set the seat temperature right here. You can set the water temperature, and you can set the dryer temperature. This little button right here that has a 6 and a 9, that's essentially a daily timer. So for example, if you set 9 at midnight, then every single day from midnight to 9, the whole thing would cool down and go to idle just to save electricity. And then this little leaf button here, it puts the whole thing in eco mode, which it says it learns your usage patterns to save electricity. Not exactly sure how that works. This button right here just initiates a manually cleaning. So if I click that, it'll just kind of flush the wand with water until I tell it to stop. And then of course this power button down here will just turn everything on and off. And then of course what's also really cool is you can do different settings for different people. You have 2 people in your house, there's a little 1 and a little 2, and each person can have their personalized settings. So when you sit down, you just hit 1 or 2 and it will kind of adjust to your preferred temperatures. The seat itself has a weight-activated switch that prevents water spraying when somebody is not sitting on it, and initiates a little spray-down sequence when someone does. The water used here and for cleaning the spray wand is what they call E-Water Plus, which they further explain to be electrolyzed water, which acts as a disinfectant. The remote control pretty much does everything. Basic functions include activating the spray wand, you can also put the soft scrub function on. Then you can move it around with the little arrows here. You can adjust the intensity here. Stop button stops everything. We also have the feminine wash, which kind of just moves things a little forward. You can also set it to oscillate, which is pretty cool. Let's do this instead. You can oscillate and pulse. Stop it. Then when you're all done, you can, of course, blow dry. One air-quoted feature that I'd like to point out is that this product keeps the seat warm at all times. Some competitors only heat up when they detect weight. Which you prefer is really a question of personal taste. Otherwise, heating is pretty even, as seen here on my infrared camera, with a low temp of about 93 degrees Fahrenheit, a medium temp of about 107, while high sits around 120. Now, you might be thinking that keeping the seat and water warm all the time would make it an energy hog. And I thought the same thing. To find out if this is true, I plugged it into a smart outlet with energy monitoring. If you're interested in this or the bidet itself, I'll place a link below. It's an associate link for which the channel will earn a small commission. Use is greatly appreciated. With the seat temp on low and the water temp on medium, it only used an average of 0.23 kilowatt hours a day, which at my electricity rates equates to an annual operating cost of just $12. Not bad at all. Overall, I love this product, even more than I originally thought I would. I especially like the air dryer. It's a feature I only have because units with one weren't that much more than ones without. But being able to dry your rear after you've cleaned your business is very clutch. If pressed, I would suggest that Toto rethink their mounting solution. The post-install side-to-side movement is a little annoying, even if it doesn't really affect performance. Otherwise, I'm pretty much hooked on the Toto Washlet C5 bidet and now can't imagine my house without one.